since we're talking about Swedish death cleaning in the coffin, death jokes. That's why you're here. Anyway, hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. There's a couple of reasons why you might have found this video. It could be that you're one of my regular viewers who's been following along with my Swedish death cleaning journey, in which case, hey y'all, I'm so glad to see you again. Or you might be brand new. You might be in that motivated time of year where we're like, I have got to get rid of some of this crap. You heard about Swedish death cleaning as kind of one of the various ways to declutter, and you were looking for more information. I am thrilled that you found me. If you find this information helpful or encouraging in any way, I would love it if you would stick around, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up. I have never been a huge accumulator of stuff. I mentioned this in my past video, and a few of you remembered him. I remember reading Clutter's Last Stand, a book by a guy named Don Aslett, who used to write in the 1970s. I have no idea where he is now, but the book really resonated with me as like a fourth grader when I was reading it. I was really weird when I was little. I would go to the library and I would literally read like home organization books when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I know, it's odd. So it's been a passion of mine really my entire life to keep things orderly and organized. And I had a messy room as a kid because I had a very busy life, quite frankly, but I always wanted to keep things pared down. I never wanted a house full of clutter. I always wanted to have clean surfaces, all of those kinds of things. But as happens to many of us, as we had our 3 kids, as we moved from home to home, as I always had this great idea to declutter right before a big move, but after a while, we always seemed to get back into our old habits again. And I was ready for a different mindset when it came to my stuff. And that is when I came across the book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning by Marguerite Magnusson. I don't know how I first discovered it. I'm assuming it was either an influencer or somebody. I must have watched a video, but something about the whole concept of it really resonated with me. So if you're unfamiliar, let me give a really quick elevator speech of what Swedish death cleaning is. It is a concept that apparently has been around in Swedish culture for many generations, that while the first half of your life is about raising your family, pursuing your career, getting your education, all of those things, and with that comes accumulating things, a home, furnishings, kitchenware, clothing, all of those things, that the second half of life, you should really begin to declutter, to give away, to simplify, to downsize. And the thought being that when you pass, you will not leave this huge, disastrous mess for your wonderful loved ones to have to go through. I know many of you watching have probably been through a process like this with your family. We've had to go through it with my mother-in-law, although she was pretty good about not accumulating too many things. There was still a lot to go through. In fact, when she passed away, sadly, right before we moved here, so we ended up bringing a lot of her personal possessions with us from Texas to Georgia. And part of what I've done these last few months is sorting through her old things, old greeting cards, old souvenirs from places that she visited. And although I think those things meant a lot to her at the time, I don't think she intended for us to have to sort through them after her passing. So I've really seen a lot of people leave this earth, some with very few possessions, some with many, many possessions. And the one thing Scott and I never want to do is be a burden to our kids. And we really feel like keeping our possessions simple and, I don't know, somewhat pared down and downsized is a really good legacy to leave them. The other thing is, I'm just tired of stuff. If it doesn't serve a purpose in my life, I don't want my home to just be a storage vessel for my things. I think especially in Western culture, we have really, especially in America, I should say, we have really just become where our homes are just these places that house our things. And I wanted to move away from that. I wanted my life to be about experiences and feelings and not about constantly maintaining my stuff. So I was ready. I was ready for something radical. I was ready for something extreme. However, there were a few things I was not ready for. There are just some unintended consequences, just some things that have drastically and radically changed about how I operate on this earth. And I didn't see that coming. So the first one I want to talk about is in regards to gift giving and the holidays. So we just had Christmas. I've always been one to buy a lot of gifts for my kids. I love my kids. I love showering them with gifts. I've always loved that at Christmas time, just the idea of the tree and all of the presents and all of the things. But this year when I went to shop, I found myself really shifted in what I wanted to buy them. Number one, I only wanted to buy them things that they actually wanted and needed. So it meant conversations like, all of my sons love Legos, but one of my sons is living in a smaller space. And so I said, do you want Legos this year? And they're all in their 20s. And he said, Mom, I really just don't have anywhere to store them. Okay, so you're not going to get Legos. I wasn't going to give people things that they did not want or need and didn't want to have to manage. I found myself really giving things that were more like consumable, be that food gifts, plants, not flowers, but plants. I gave all my neighbors plants, and I hadn't ever really thought for some reason about giving plants to my neighbors, but everybody really seemed to love them. I found myself giving people really, really practical gifts. One of the things I gave all of my sons was a big box filled with just necessities like deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all those things that when you move away from your mom and dad's house, you don't realize how expensive they are to replace. So I really stocked them up for the first quarter of this year with all of the things that they need, things that I knew that they would go through and wouldn't just be something that they would have to store. I also found myself changing in what I asked for from them. I was very specific with what I wanted, and I was very clear what I didn't want. I didn't want collectibles. I didn't want tchotchkes. I didn't want anything that would just take up space on a shelf. Just my mind has shifted, and I really just don't want to accumulate a bunch of things anymore. So Christmas was very different. At first, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this, because the materialistic part of Christmas is a big part of it, right? But not only were we all a little happier with a little less, next year we've all decided we're going to go down to that 3 gifts thing where where we're all just going to get 3 gifts, and that we are all completely okay with that. And it's just getting back to a more simple concept and not being so focused on consumerism. The number 2 thing that has changed is how I shop. So let's be clear. It's not that I don't shop. I do shop. I love shopping. I will still go out and buy beautiful things. It's how I shop. I am finding myself being a complete stickler about materials, about if anything is trendy, I'm not going to buy that. I am only buying things that are really high quality, that when I'm done with them, I can thrift them or sell them, and they will have a life beyond being in my closet. I have been shifting away from fast fashion for several years now, and this Swedish Death Cleaning has really put the nail on the coffin for that with me. Since we're talking about Swedish Death Cleaning in the coffin, death jokes. That's why you're here. Anyway, I'm only purchasing things that are very high quality and are somewhat timeless. And also I'm trying as much as possible to buy secondhand. I like ThredUp, I like Poshmark. I just like the sustainability of that. If something has already lasted through one owner, odds are it's going to last me. This blouse that I'm wearing is 100% silk. It's from Lily Silk. I bought it on Poshmark. We have a cruise coming up, and there was a dress that I wanted like for a specialty night on this particular cruise, and I didn't want to pay $300 for a dress. So I went on to ThredUp and I searched for 100% silk. I found a beautiful Calvin Klein dress in my size for $23. It already came, fits me beautifully. And before I started the Swedish Death Cleaning process, I'm not sure that's something that I would go and do, but I feel a lot better about adding like these one-time pieces to my closet when I know it's something that I can re-thrift or resell and really, I don't know, sustainably remove from my home when I am no longer in need of it. The other thing I'm finding is rather than adding things, I'm really only replacing things. So for instance, I got a brand new roller bag for Christmas that I absolutely love. I had one that I had purchased from Amazon that was really not very good quality. So I've now gotten rid of that one. I donated it because it only had just like a little bit of wear on the bottom. But whenever I bring something in, I'm trying very hard to take something out, and preferably to take 2 or 3 things out to make up for that one thing that I am bringing in. So it's not that I'm not shopping. It's just that I'm trying, like, here is my net of my, what's the word I want? Possessions. So here are my possessions. I'm trying not to make that a bigger ball of yarn, right? I'm trying to keep it right here where it is, where it's manageable and comfortable. So how I shop has drastically changed. Another thing that has drastically changed, and this one is like, I don't know if it's not really a bummer, but it's how I engage on social media. And in return, how I do my YouTube channel. And it's actually going to end up costing me money. I still obviously have to buy things like skincare, hair care, things that you use up. Those things have to be purchased. As I find great products, I'm still going to share them with you guys. But there was a time there when I was doing a lot of shopping for clothing, shoes, bags, all the things, because then I could do affiliate marketing and I could share those links. And typically I was making back what I was spending in affiliate marketing. So in my brain, I was like,
well, I'm basically shopping for free and I'm doing, a service to them because I'm showing them great products.
Well, now I don't want stuff to come into my house unless I absolutely need it. Other companies, I just had a handbag company reach out that I have received things from in the past. They were like, hey, we'd love to send you one of our newest bags. And I was like, I don't want it. I don't need another bag. I don't want another bag. And I certainly don't want to have just one more thing added to my bag collection. So that means less affiliate marketing. It means less kind of fun little goodies that are coming into the house for me. And in a way, that's kind of a bummer. And it's a little bit, I never thought I would have a job that was tied to my shopping, but y'all know there are tons of influencers that are my age that do huge Walmart hauls and Nordstrom hauls and Amazon hauls, and they do them constantly. And I know a lot of them do the hauls and then they either donate or sell the items afterwards, but that's just one more thing. And I don't want the stuff to be in my house in the first place. Just a lot of clutter, I'm finding, all of a sudden stresses me out way more than it ever did. So it's like the more I pare down, the more I want to pare down. Am I becoming a minimalist where I'm gonna, sit here with just like a candle and a blanket? No, I still want my home to feel warm and cozy and inviting, but I'm not accumulating for accumulation's sake. Because of the business I'm in, it's actually going to cost me money because it will be less affiliate marketing. But I'm okay with that because I feel like we're all on this journey together. I'm very grateful for my patrons. If you want to join us over on Patreon, this is a good time to plug that, where they get exclusive videos, live streams, blog posts, and it enables me to do less affiliate marketing. I still do some affiliate marketing, but I'm finding myself shifting further and further away from that, and it is shocking even me. The last thing that I'll talk about that has drastically changed is how I clean. When I go into my bedroom now, even if it's just making my bed in the morning or cleaning up my vanity, I am finding myself getting rid of things so much more quickly. I am finding myself going, wait a minute, instead of just throwing something in a drawer. A lot of you have recommended Clutterbug to me. If you ever watch her channel, she talks about the different styles of organization. I am definitely the type to throw things in drawers. I forget what that one is called, but that's me. My son said the other day, I haven't really noticed that the house seems that much different, but you've gotten rid of so much stuff. I'm like, yeah, go open drawers and cupboards and you'll know where all the stuff is emptied out of, because that's been a drastic change. But instead of like, oh, I need to clean my room, so I'm just going to take everything on the top of my nightstand and throw it in a drawer, I'm going through and I'm disposing of things in the moment, because this is an ongoing process and we're constantly bringing things into our homes. Even when you think you're not shopping, even when you don't understand it, it just seems like the items tend to duplicate. So when I'm cleaning now, it's not just straightening up and tidying and cleaning, it's straightening up and tidying and purging things as I go along. When we put away the Christmas decorations, I really gave a critical eye to everything that I used. I had done some Swedish death cleaning before the holidays, and then I really, I pared down then, but then even when I went to put stuff away, there was even more that I could get rid of. I really gave a critical eye to wrapping paper and ribbons and all of those kinds of things. What is really useful that can be stored and I'll be happy next year when I open it, and what just needs to go. And I found myself taking like 3 more things to Goodwill and about 4 more bags out to the garbage, which I thought I had already decluttered. So how I function in my own home and how I clean has drastically changed, and I think it's very much for the better. So I can say definitively, this is going to sound so dramatic, I am a different person since I started the Swedish death cleaning process. I think I have actually gone through a very deep dive into my own soul and my own mortality. You know, at 53, my hope is that I have many decades of life left, but I want to spend those decades enjoying my life, enjoying the people that I love, and not tending to, taking care of, and organizing material possessions. So am I perfect at this? Absolutely not, but I have as many days as I have left on the earth. So as I move through the years, my hope is that I move through them with less things and more memories and more amazing times with people that I love. Whatever you're doing today, I hope you're finding joy. I wish you the best of luck on your own decluttering journey as you walk through life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.